Our next guest was in the doldrums, just weeks away from bankruptcy, when he decided to enter a TV talent show. Well, the outcome changed his life and catapulted him to international stardom as the first winner of Britain's Got Talent. It's the man with the amazing voice, Paul Potts. Paul, welcome to the Hour.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us. In Scotland for 2 dates, the first of them last night. How did it go?
It went very well. I loved the venue. The Royal Concert Hall was a beautiful place to perform, and I'm very privileged to get to perform in so many wonderful places. I'm in the Edinburgh Playhouse tomorrow night, another great venue, and it's difficult to believe that 3 years ago I was selling mobile phones, and now I've been around the world now 7 times, and
oh my goodness.
It's just incredible. And it's all thanks to the people that went out and voted for me nearly 3 years ago, and of course. It's thanks to 2 Scotsmen too, of course. John Logie Baird invented the TV, and Alexander Bell wrote the telephone. So it's all thanks to Scotland.
It's true. I mean, you're so well loved, and I think when you do a show like Britain's Got Talent or X Factor, there's a real ownership with the public, and there's there's also obviously a great love for you, but it's a beautiful story. Do you ever, when you first tossed that coin and said, "Okay, I'm going in for Britain's Got Talent," could you ever have imagined what lay before you?
No, I looked to myself and I thought, there's nowhere on earth that anybody's going to ever pick you to go on TV. You've got the perfect face for radio, and so I was really flipping the coin to decide whether I was going to put myself through that just for the one performance, because the way I saw it was that it was the last time I was ever going to sing, because I was paying to perform before that, and I'd not performed for 4 years, and I just thought, this is the end of it. I'm not going to be able to perform anymore. I don't have the money to spend on singing lessons, don't have the money to spend on travelling.
So let's just emphasise that you were paying to perform.
Yeah. Because I love doing it, and that's not changed. The only difference is it's now my career, but I still have the same love for it. And tomorrow night I'm performing on my birthday, and a lot of people think, oh, I've got to work on my birthday, but for me, it's what I love doing. So it's like a dream come true. It's like my own little birthday party, doing what I love doing. I still can't believe it.
But when you were saying what you said there about how you thought the reaction would be when you went on the show, when you watched Susan Boyle walk out the way you did as well, and got that kind of same, oh, what's going to happen here reaction, you must have felt a lot of similarities there.
There were, but I think that inside Susan's actually a reasonably confident person. You can tell there's an inner confidence in her. You can see it in her eyes. I went on there and I felt like, well, to be honest, there were 2 people on before me who got booed by the audience. It was a 65-year-old man and his wife, and he was whistling birdsong. She was dancing with a pashmina scarf. And I thought, oh my God, what am I doing here? And I seriously contemplated walking away, and I'm not sure exactly what it was that made me walk on. I'm very glad that I did now, of course. But, for me at that point, I was just going to walk on and sing, and that would be it. I saw it as a cul-de-sac. I never dreamed it would end up being such a big turning point in my life.
But it was a huge turning point in your life, and of course you won, and you went on to sell 3.5 million copies of your first album, #1 in 13 countries. You are global. You go. Is there any favourite country that you've been to? Are you treated any differently outside the UK?
It's always difficult to find a favourite place. I've spent quite a bit of time in Scotland, particularly on the western side, and I remember having New Year's Eve in Appin, up towards Appin in Jura, and a very quiet New Year with just a piper, and I love Scotland. I want to spend more time here. I've done the West Island Way a couple of times, and as you can tell, I could do with doing it a few more times. But it's so difficult to find a favourite place, and I've been to New Zealand. The South Island is very, very similar to Scotland. It's very similar to the Highlands of Scotland, and there's a place called Queenstown, which is on Lake Wakatipu, which is very similar to the hills and the valleys around Loch Lomond. And that's where I compare it to. So I've got to harken back to this country. I've got to do some more walking here.
Michelle's right, though. You've broken countries that no other performer from X Factor or Britain's Got Talent has. What do you think it is about you? Is it the voice?
To be honest, it's a complete mystery to me. But I just love being able to do what I love doing, and I'm very, very privileged to have been to so many countries. I think it's something like 26 countries I've been to now, and I've just, before I started the European part of my tour, I was in Peru, Colombia, and then flew across to Tokyo to do a telephone performance, and then back to the UK to start the European tour.
Wow.
And sometimes I don't know where my backside is. You know? My head's in one place, my backside's in another. But it's great to see so many wonderful places, but it's also great to come back home.
To get back up the road. Now, I mean, you're talking about all these wonderful countries you've visited, but I'm reading this morning as well, there's a possibility of being a movie based on your life. Can you enlighten us on that?
Well, it's been talked about for quite a bit of time. I've had a couple of meetings with Justin Zackham, who's writing the screenplay, and it seems to be moving along. I can't say where it is at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And anyone you would like in particular to play you in the movie? Well, you must be a big Hollywood actor, surely you would like to have your choice of.
Well, in many ways, I'd love for it to be a comedy, because who would want to watch a 90-minute sob story? I mean, you know, for me, you know, and plus I'm unintentionally comic, completely unintentionally. My wife tells me that I'm a terrible, terrible comedian. So, you know, it's the things I do by accident that make her laugh. I'm very good at tripping over things.
Well, Paul, there is a movie, I can tell you, I'll be first in the queue. Tell us a wee bit about the song you're going to sing for us in just a moment. It's
a beautiful piece of music that I first came across as a boy. It's based on Frédéric Chopin's Tristesse, which is a beautiful piece of music, and he wrote it as a longing to return to his homeland of Poland. And I first heard it to song when I bought a Jose Carreras album, and it's a song about loving someone that no longer loves you, and you believe against all hope that you'll get to hold and kiss them again, but then the realisation comes that it's only a dream, and that you will never see them again.
It's going to be the most amazing performance, I just know that. Paul, have a very happy birthday in
Yes.
Scotland
Thank you.
tomorrow. I hope they sing you
tour.
happy birthday at the Playhouse in Edinburgh. That would be nice tomorrow night, wouldn't it? Good luck with the concert.
Where better to be on my birthday than beautiful Scotland?